Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Yeah.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We got a lot to talk about today. First thing I want to do is I want to be clear on something. I say this in the beginning of every video because I don't want people to think just because I have an opposing viewpoint against you that I'm against you. I'm against whatever that idea might be. I don't have any ill will towards anyone that might not necessarily have the same political viewpoints that I have or same religious, I'm not religious, but same faith as I have. So with that being said, we're going to have a conversation today. And our conversation is going to be tempered with love. But we need for more of America to wake up. Not just the ones who have. We need the entirety of America to wake up. Now, there's two things I want to point out real quick. Have y'all noticed around the time Donald Trump got elected, won the president. No, he's the president-elect now. He got elected. He's not in office yet. But already we could see how the market has been affected. One thing that happened is Bitcoin shot up. That's a big deal for anybody that don't get it. The Dow started to improve. And as far as how does this affect the regular, average, everyday citizen, I noticed something the other day. Like I said, have y'all noticed that the $5 deals and the $6 deals are coming back to stores? Like fast food restaurants? Anybody notice that? That all of a sudden, without any, real promotion leading up to, they'll be like, these months, these periods of times in 2 months, we're going to, don't forget this offer. No, nothing leading up. They just dropped it on us one day. And then the other guys dropped it. And everybody started dropping something. This is the effect that a president can have when the people that run the businesses and the corporations feel like the market is going to improve or is actually improving, like in this case with just a person being elected. Now, why is this such a big deal? One of the things that was being championed. Let me get to Putin in one moment. One of the ideas, concepts, lies that was being championed is that Donald Trump is bad for the economy. So I just want to point out how that was incorrect. He's not bad for the economy. I keep hearing he filed for bankruptcy 7 times. Yeah, but he got like 500 businesses. If anyone had 500 businesses, and out of those 500 businesses, only 7 of those businesses had to file for bankruptcy. What in the hell? That's less than 7%. That's a win. What in the hell is the Democrats? See how they trick you? They make it think something is actually a good thing is something bad. That's how you know you're playing with Satan. In any regard. Putin reportedly open to ceasefire discussions with Ukraine if negotiations are led by Donald Trump. Why is this important? Let's do roll call real quick. Get to the rest of the show. But why is that important? We're going to get to that in a moment. Hey, welcome everybody. Have a seat. Enjoy the show. Please be pleasant. Not just to me, but to each other in the comment section. If you would like to show support, you could always pull up to the Cash App. Thank you and enjoy the show. We got, I don't know if that's Jabari. I don't know how to say that, but we going to call you Mr. Wilsons. He says, I must salute you. Says, I must salute you. You've completely changed your channel and content around from the Treyway and 6ix9ine nonsense to something more impactful, full, and meaningful. I was always doing this content. But when I'm doing this content, it doesn't get the same, energy behind it as when I'm doing other content. Obviously, whenever you are a businessman, you have to go where the community's energy is going. So I had, the opportunity to be involved in the Treyway 6ix9ine situation. And as far as in the media, and I'm forever grateful. Let's not confuse that. Forever grateful for all the access that I was afforded, for the people that I've met. Forever grateful. Wish a couple of situations turned out a little different, but it is what it is. Brandon Washington says, true that. He says, morning fruits, morning BBN, fan bam, salute. Salute, my brother. Hope everything's going well with you and yours. Stormy Norman says, salute, salute, salute. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you. And Picture Man. Trump, Democrat, Trump. Okay, I don't know what they have to do with that. I don't know what that sentence is. I tell you what, if you form a question that I could comprehend a little bit better, maybe it's me, I'll be more than happy to attempt to answer it if it's on a subject, and the subject is the title of the video. We haven't drifted off into anything else yet. So I would like to stay on the topic of the video. And the topic of the video is Putin says that he will only negotiate with Trump. And why this is important. And you might be saying, why all those other things that I was saying? What does this lend to it? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? So, one of the main points the Democrats seem to consistently push is that Donald Trump is bad for foreign politics. And that's the reason in which why they need to be in control. Because if we let Trump be in charge of things, then, there's going to be war. He's going to be the reason why there's war. Now, what is the reason why war is generally conducted historically since the world has existed? And that's been for resources, correct? This tribe wars with that tribe because, that's our, I don't know, pond. You can't fish over there. You're taking the fish. You're overfishing the place, so you gotta go. This is our area where we hunt deer. You're over hunting. Two of us can't exist here. You gotta get up out of here. You understand? Even so, like when wars have been conducted that we might not really even know about, they're fighting wars over there in Africa for the resources. In Africa, war is fought over resources. So, how have they been? The Democrats been fighting Trump. They have been saying that Trump is bad for our resources. So I want to point out that not only have the Democrats actively been lying about the economy. But the Democrats, that's domestic issue. The Democrats also have been lying about their impact on foreign relations. Correct? So I wanted to make sure that we're pretty clear on this. This is not a personal attack when I speak about these Democrats. Because as long as I can consistently talk about how their actions have actually negatively affected, not pretendly and negatively affected. Right? I'm not 100% sure what your question was. I hope I answered it in some form. Now, with that being said, Putin said that he's not going to negotiate with anybody except for Trump. Why is that important? You don't think the rest of the world see what Trump is doing? I'm going to tell you what Trump is doing. Pay attention. Trump is literally draining the swamp this time. See, last time he couldn't do it because he didn't know who to trust. He had to be betrayed. He had to be betrayed. If he was never betrayed, then he wouldn't know who to trust and know who not to trust. Now he knows who to trust, who not to trust. And now he's getting right back in position of power. I said this yesterday, and I want to be clear on this. If I was Trump, one of the first things I would do is make sure that I hire everybody who got a bone to pick with the people that got a problem with me, because I don't want to go after you. But I do need to make sure that the people that I hire are not your friends. They don't got to be your enemy, but they cannot be your friends. Because there's some things that we're going to have to do. And the first one of y'all that decide to speak up for one of them is going to be the first one fired. There's not going to be a discussion. I want to be clear on something. I don't agree. And I think that this was stupid. And I'm still angry at the Democrats for not having a candidate when Hillary Clinton ran. I'm going to say this again. So I don't think people get it. They didn't have a candidate on purpose because they tried to force Hillary Clinton down our throats. Trump would literally not be the president right now. Or there's a good chance that he wouldn't be the president right now if during his first attempt to become president, the Democrats would have put up a good candidate instead of trying to force Hillary Clinton down people's throats. Now, with that being said, who should you be angry with? Who should you be angry with? You're mad at people that voted for Trump, but who had a choice? Stop acting like our economy ain't shit. Stop acting like there's not wars going on all over the world just because you could have the ability to kill a baby if you so decide to have one. And also, why does it seem like most of the chicks that's fighting so hard for people to have the ability to have babies don't even look like they're in that type of relationship where they would get pregnant? Because somebody explain that to me. I would love to know, because that is absolutely the crux of a lot of my issues with the argument, besides the fact that God does not want us to kill babies in or outside of the womb. There's a law that says that if a woman is pregnant and you cause her death, that that's double homicide. Women champion that. But these same women say that that's not a baby, that the baby isn't a person. So abortion is okay. So we say whatever suits the moment. That's how people talk to me often. That's why I don't be wanting to talk to nobody. They say whatever suits the moment. One moment they saying this, next moment they saying that. I'm just saying it like, okay. So why wouldn't Putin want to negotiate with the current administration? There's only one reason. There's only one reason why Putin wouldn't want to negotiate with them. There's only one reason. They are the actual ones attacking them, not the Ukraine. That is the only reason why to not negotiate with this administration, but to negotiate with Trump. There is no other reason. See, when you hit people with logic, right? They be like, "Hey, what makes you think you right?" I hear that, right? And then like 4 or 5 months from now, then we hear I'm right. And then they be like, "Yeah, but that time." Yeah, but you say that every time I'm right. Every time I say something I'm correct, you say that. And every time you get proven wrong, you say that. There's only one reason why Putin wouldn't want to negotiate with the current administration, and that's if he has reason to believe that the current administration is the people that's actually attacking him and not the Ukraine. I'm not saying that that's what's happening. How would I know? One, I doubt I'm that smart. And two, I'm just sitting over here in New York somewhere in my crib shooting a show. So, who knows, right? But I do also want you to pay attention to something else. Putin said the LGBTQ community is a terrorist organization. Let that sit with you for a moment. Give me 1 second. Be right back.
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I need to do something real quick. So, I'm not saying that he should have done this, but this lends into what we're talking about. So, who are the main Democrats that seem to be losing their shit on social media? I mean, I know a lot of Democrats that are unhappy. But I think mostly they're unhappy because they got to keep hearing about how they're supposed to be unhappy. But, anyway. So, but who are the ones that's out there doing all of the weirdo shit out in public? Who are the ones making all of the weirdo-ass social media posts about cutting hair and wearing blue wristbands and all this other type of shit? Who? Which ones? So, a while back, Putin, when I say a while back, I mean when Obama was president, Putin had deemed, and this is going to sound absolutely bananas, and I don't know if anybody else remembers this. This was around the same time, I think, that those girls got arrested and put in prison that were the rock band, Pussy. In any regard, Putin accused the United States of America of trying to infiltrate Russia with the LGBTQ community movement. Do y'all remember that? I'm not saying that anybody was trying to do anything. I'm just saying that this is something that he accused them of. So let's fast forward it a little. Remember when Trump came into office? How all of the leaders of the world wanted to see Trump, and they went up to him, and whenever they met him, they was happy to shake his hand. I just thought about something recently. Could that have been relief? Could they have been relieved that now not just the previous administration, but the individuals that run the previous administration now are not involved with the current administration because they have been relieved. You know, they say Obama dropped the most missiles ever with them damn drones. I mean, I always assumed he was the first president kind of with the drones, right? So I would assume he would have dropped the most. Make sense? So I never thought anything of it, to be honest with you. Drones. So yeah, I think Putin sees our current administration as his enemies for years. Since Obama was in office. Just so we could be clear. And that's the point I was just trying to make. When he says he's not going to negotiate with anybody but Trump. He believes that the people that he's currently in the war with is America. But it's the current administration, not the Trump administration. If they win, if they would have won, pardon me, there's no telling what this world would have turned into. Also, do y'all remember during when Trump was running against Hillary Clinton, there was leaders of other nations saying that if Hillary Clinton wins, that there's gonna be a war. Like they was like, there's gonna be war. So when they said that, the whole entire time I was thinking, if Hillary Clinton wins, they're gonna attack America, because I was still a Democrat. So when I heard them say this, I thought like a Democrat. Oh wow, they're gonna attack America if Hillary Clinton wins. But now, I'm a little bit older, and I understand what they were trying to say. If Hillary Clinton wins, she is gonna be attacking us, stealing our shit. She's gonna wage war on the world. Context. It changes a lot of things. I got a pretty good memory. I be wondering why I be up on a lot of these things, like politics and everything. That's why I be up on it, because I be remembering the shit that happened previously. And so, process it. We deal with it like that. And that goes for like almost everything we talk about. That's why I be crazy when people come up in here and they be like, yo, Frost, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you? Well, I generally don't speak about things I don't know about, but if you would like to inform me, I'll listen. But generally speaking, if I don't know about something, I don't speak on it. So, no, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm just somebody that's smart enough to talk about things that I actually know, rather than having conversations about things that I don't. That should be the goal for everybody, by the way. Funny story. For as long as y'all seen me doing this, I discuss concepts, ideas, news, current news, music, things like that. I never really wanted to discuss people. I will tell you about something that happened in my life, because I will discuss my life. That's why I say please, because I will discuss my life. In any regard. How much time we got going so far? I can't see that number. I'm going on about a half an hour. All right, let's get to it. I was making some stuff to post, but I didn't post it. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna consistently do something. I don't want to say what it is. I thought I saved that shit. I didn't save it. So apparently, I thought I had the clip for y'all where we have quite a few different Well, we have one of the individuals that run a different nation over there in Europe, and they went out and publicly had a conversation, and they was talking, and basically what they said is that the current administration is trying to create a war. I hope this show is still around. We're almost to 100K on the page. I mean, I haven't been doing any shows recently. We got to get back to it, but yeah, we almost at 100K on the page. People could talk whatever smack they want to talk, but how many people got 100K or close to? What up, Washable Marker? Salute. And anyway, in any regard, I think the rest of the world has made it pretty evident that Trump winning the election was good for the world in its entirety, and it staved off calamity or possible extinction. I mean, at this point, just so we could be clear, they're still trying to bomb and force Russia to bomb back while they also playing the victim. You do understand this, right? They're shooting at Russia in hopes that Russia will attack a force that they could then declare war, America, USA. Because then themselves declare war, and then they could say, well, we can't, change over the presidency. You get it? So we all know what they're attempting to do. Other nations also see it. At this point, I need the Democrats to have a heart to back up off of this Biden-Harris regime and realize that them losing was a good thing, not a bad. That's just my opinion. For me, I need y'all to back up off of that. Like, we don't gotta talk about it. I prefer not to talk politics with my friends right after they lose a big election. Because I don't know how they're going to feel about it, so I prefer not to. If they want to have the conversation, more than happy. But I'm not here to try to, you're my friends. I'm not here to try to, put salt in the wound. And I think we need to have more of that perspective. More. It kind of kills me that people always think I'm going to make them feel in a way. And people don't ever think, you know what? I'm gonna allow them to feel in a way. Go away. I think we need more of that idea, that concept. Anyway, in any regard, we ain't even get to the hour mark yet. I tell you this much, and I guess this is the crux of what the title of the video is about. The Democratic Party, not the voters, the elected officials, they have to go. They just have to go. If y'all want to save your party, y'all have to just start voting in a different manner. Stop voting so extreme left, because the left there is no left center no more. It don't exist. It's like the far leftists ran everybody else, so they don't have no choice but to agree with. I seen AOC the other day saying not allowing transgender boys that turn into girls into the females locker room was like something negative against all women everywhere. And I'm busy thinking, you know what? With all due respect, not all due respect to her, all due respect to the people that we're about to discuss. They didn't ask to be a part of this conversation. So with all due respect, if an individual decides that they need to surround themselves and feel like something other than what they are, there still needs to be parameters put in place to protect the individuals they want to be surrounded by. You want to allow this person the opportunity to feel away, fine. But those other individuals got rights too. So I'm not for taking away the right of one person in order to placate. Pardon me. I'm not for taking away the rights of the majority in order to placate the minority. They've tricked us into thinking that that's the way to go while they've been fighting for civil rights. So when I say the majority in contrast to the minority, I'm not talking about in general. I'm talking about specifically. This is a specific instance that you're going to say the individuals that we're catering to aren't even 3% of the population. And instead of us just offering them something that's just for them, they don't want that. They want the thing that's already available for different individuals that would allow for them to then be an apex predator. And before anybody say not everybody is like that, I'm not saying that everybody is. And I'm also not taking the perspective of Batman. If there's even a 1% chance. Batman is crazy. What I'm saying is that we should not be taking away the rights of those young women that didn't agree to this. So when you're taking that perspective, that we're taking the rights away from women, AOC is actually trying to take the rights away from women and using the cloak of the opposite in order to achieve her goals. Who operates that way? Who operates that way? The liberal media has been taking the biggest hit. For everybody that don't know, their viewership has been dropping absolutely. Subscriptions, loss, all types of different. It did down like 50% over here, 60% over there. Like, they're doing terrible. So I need for y'all to understand something. The Democrats are right now the minority. And what I mean by that is that these things that they've been the minority. What I mean by that is, let me just extrapolate a little bit further before I explain. These agendas that's being pushed inside of the Democratic Party is pushed by the minority. So whether the Democrats in total, in general speaking, whether majority or not, the people that actually want these policies and are trying to push these policies are a minority of the elected Democratic Party and also a minority of the voting Democratic Party. That's what I'm saying. So inside of the Democratic Party, these are the minority. They've hijacked the Democratic Party. If I was a Democrat, I would be so pissed. I'd be so angry. Nancy Pelosi got to go. Expediently. Expeditiously. She got to get up out of here. Do y'all remember? because I've said this numerous times, especially previously when we was dealing with a lot of Bronx politics. But do y'all remember when I told y'all the Democrats need us to be doing bad so they can offer us things, create a stockpile of money that they then go money launder from? Do anybody remember me saying that? I said the Democrats and the Republicans get their money differently. I said that's why I don't want any more clinics in our hoods. I don't want no more clinics. I want you to put a hospital and send the people that need the help to the hospital. I don't want no more clinics. Now, if you got, I'm not talking about like a walk-in spot when you get hurt. We need those. I'm talking about the drug clinics where they go pick up their methadone. I don't want any more of those. You should be sending those people to the hospital. Okay? The hospital is going to have a psychiatrist that's going to help talk to them. They might need to be talk. They might need to talk sometimes. They're going to have medical doctors, and you know they might absolutely need some attention. And you can move the individuals that work in these clinics to these hospitals, or at least on the hospital grounds. And if need be, you can build apertures connected to it, right? If need be. So I say all that to say this. The Democrats created the most giant slush fund ever. C-19. That slush fund was incredible. And then they said, you know what? We could go even bigger. Ukraine. So our media, mainstream media, hasn't been being honest. And I think you should be pissed. The View is still trying to pull shenanigans. I think I should be pissed. These people obviously don't care about Americans. They keep talking about, they don't care about the economy. These mofos is not going to go hungry. They don't care about the economy. Every single person they want to eat will eat. They don't care about the economy. Every single person that they want to have in a place to lay their head is going to have a place to lay their head. They don't care about the economy. How Whoopi Goldberg had the nerve to go on television and say, I got to still work. Reason why I'm doing this show is I got to still work. Like she's like, if she doesn't do that show, she will go destitute. Y'all know she's worth like, how much is that? 50 million? 60 million? Something like that. She's worth like 60 million. What is she talking about? What the hell is she talking about? And this is what they do. They can't understand any of the hardship that anybody is going through. And that's what Donald Trump keeps explaining. They don't understand your hardship. They think it's okay what's going on. It's not okay. Anything y'all want to discuss? We only at 9:30. I'm not in no big rush. I started early, right? I started before 9, right? What time we started around? I started before 9. Anything else y'all want to discuss? I'll move on to another topic. Anything else y'all want to discuss?
Situation, and it can only end badly. You don't want 19-year-old boys with AKs in the middle of whatever protests are going on, because no matter what happens, you're going to see a protest from whether you put a U.S. Army person or a young man or a young woman in an impossible situation, and it can only end badly.
These niggas just lie. I don't know what to tell you. Like, they just lie. They just lie. They just lie. The worst thing is about to happen to them. The worst thing is about to happen. The main thing that Satan never wants. Satan is always trying to block something or stop something. That's the Lord is trying to do. Like never, Lord wants to happen, it's gonna happen. But when it happens, this is the part that Satan hates. When they're proven wrong. You understand? It's the part he hates. So now he's trying to do everything they could possibly do to prevent Trump from getting into office. Because once Trump gets into office and changes some of these policies, we're never going back. And that's what they're trying to explain. First of all, let me just explain about the fixing the food issue. You want to know, yesterday we was talking about Twinkies. I'm going to say this, and I want this to be 100% understood. 100% understood. Twinkies in the 1970s, 1980s were the best cake ever. There is no cake better than the fucking Twinkies from the 1970s, 1980s. Those were the best Twinkies ever. Those was the best. There is no, and when I say cake, I mean like a snack cake that you could buy from the store. There is no snack cake that will ever beat that. There is none. That Twinkie was the best thing ever. Now let's speak about today's Twinkies, where you could literally, if you ate those Twinkies previously, you can taste the ingredients, man. You can taste the damn chemicals in them now. Like, you could taste them. You remember the joke that Family Guy made? They was like the end of time or whatever, and it was like, well, how are we gonna eat? Everything is irradiated. That's when Stewie grew all of the tentacles and shit. And they went to the Twinkie factory because Twinkies don't expire. Something to think about. So yeah, I want old food back. I want the food that was regulated. Can we regulate our food? Can we get this GMOs out of our food? All that shit Obama put, all of them regulations that Obama like threw out the window to allow for them to put GMOs and everything else in our food. Can we fix that? Because Obama was the one that did that to our food. One of the ones that did that to our food. When he made it so they could put genetically modified organisms in our food and really don't gotta, just made it. We'll make it so you gotta tell them. But they made it seem like it was a good thing. So people was looking for food with GMOs. And then now we know it's a bad thing. Washable Marcus says, you're right. I've been watching what I eat ever since you told me about the glue in top ramen. Yeah, that's the shit that they use to bind the ramen. It's not good for us at all. Like, if you eat it a little bit, you'll be all right. But if you, that's your diet, you eating that damn top ramen every damn day, it's a problem. But you could also go get ramen that don't have the glue in it. It's just that glue, the cheap one. It's what it is. That's a fact. Damn, I told you that a while ago. We talked about that a dumb long time ago. We were still living in a fucking expensive ass hotel. We talked about that a long time ago. The hotel was like $300. The hotel was expensive. Anyway, in any regard, in any regard. Yeah, so they're about to fix the food. Shout out to RFK. They're going to fix the food. Shout out to RFK. That's always a win. So I can't wait for that. And also by them fixing the food, and they're going to make the food go back cheaper. But this is going to be the effect. Guess what happens when they fix the food? That means that also our fast food is going to get fixed. Just saying. Our fast food gets fixed. Our fast food will be a little bit less unhealthy. I'm going to throw another thing out there. Do anybody remember the McDonald's cheeseburgers from 1980s? The 1980s, early 1990s? Anybody remember how them cheeseburgers tasted? They tasted different, didn't they? I've always been under the impression that as I get older, my taste buds their senses dull. So I'm just tasting food differently. So I've been asking people, like, in certain periods of time, have things been there's been a universal understanding that, yeah, it got different. And like just like KFC got different, but we know why KFC got different because they changed the oil. Washable marker over here in New York City, they now have they have $5 and $6 meals at McDonald's. Yeah. So they brought the $5 and the $6 meal back. And if the economy improves, I expect that these fast food restaurants are gonna the deals are gonna get better. And because you do know, whenever us as people have more money and also the value of money improves and goes up, that means that these stores want to make more transactions. Then it becomes about transactions, not how much the actual money is. You understand? Also, I would expect, I don't know how the prices are going to change, because the prices might go down. Because one of the reasons why the prices are up right now is because they've been killing all of the cows and chickens and stuff like that. They've been destroying entire hatcheries. And remember, we've been hearing about that over the last couple of years. The farmers have been complaining about how their crops and everything have been getting destroyed. And one of the reasons why somebody would do something like that is to cause make sure that there's no surplus, to make it so that there is less of something, because things become more valuable the fewer of it that there is. So if we could go back to when Trump was president, there is no pandemic situation going on, and we can get these farmers back doing the thing that they need to do, everything will become less expensive in the supermarket. All prices will go down. I mean, that's just the way that works. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Supply and demand. That's just the way it works. That's why it was such a tragedy that China has bought up so much farmland. Because now China's bought all of that farmland that's not being used for farmland now. You understand? So all this shit. Who sold China the farmland? Which is also next to our military bases, just so I can add. So, that part. That part. And this is all the Democrats doing. And that's why every time I hear, they're talking about got to vote for Kamala, and then the only reason why they wanted people to vote for Kamala had to deal with women's reproductive rights. And that's not really women's reproductive rights. You want the right to kill the baby, not help making new babies. So that's Women's Baby Depopulation Act. That's what they should have called it. The Baby Depopulation Act. We're going to fight to make sure that every woman can get an abortion. If you need to, we'll come to your house. Abortions for everybody. You ain't even got to be pregnant. You just come in there, stick tools in you, and fake and pantomime the abortion for you, even though you ain't pregnant. The Baby Depopulation Act. That's what they should have called it. Just saying. That's crazy that was the only thing they could run on. And what did I tell y'all? I told y'all the reason why they picked Tim Walz is because they knew that they were going to lose. And they didn't want to throw away a potential candidate for president in the future. They didn't want to mess up anybody else's reputation. That's why they picked Tim Walz. They knew they were going to lose. So now, if this is true, that they really did want to have a primary, and Biden screwed them over when he said that I'm putting my support behind Kamala Harris, and so therefore she had to be the candidate. I guess they could have still had a primary, if you want to know my opinion, but they felt obligated, I guess, at that point to make her the candidate. Then that lends to the same idea. They never thought she was gonna win. Just something to think about. They never thought she was gonna win. I told you that though when she picked Tim Walz. It wasn't hard to tell. Like, I'm gonna explain. So, and just so we could be clear, I was the one that told everybody that Biden was gonna choose her before Biden chose her. Just so we could be clear. Alright? Months before Biden chose her, I told y'all Biden was gonna choose her. So take that into consideration when I say what I'm about to say. So she's a shit politician. Let's start there. Even her having been vice president, she's a worse politician than every other politician damn near. Now imagine you have a pretty good, or you believe yourself to have a pretty good career so far. So much so that in the next 8 to 16 years, you might run. 8 to 12 years, pardon me. Why would you attach yourself to this debacle? Why would you attach yourself to quite possibly the most hated president and vice president in the history of America? That's the part that Democrats don't want to admit. That's the part they don't get. Biden and Harris are the most hated president and vice president in the history of America. And that's the part that some of these Democratic voters don't get. They're blaming their relatives and their family members. But it wasn't them. It was everybody. Why are you blaming them? It was everybody. Trump won the popular vote. And allegedly 15 million Democrats didn't show up to the polls. Wink, wink. I think that's enough. I think that's good proof of what the people wanted. And just so we could be clear, the people voted for deportation of the illegals. What do you think is going to happen when these governors and these mayors go for re-election and they're fighting so hard to keep the illegals? What do you think is going to happen? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. One of them is going to get the police sent after them, and all the rest of them is going to realize they're not playing. One of them is going to get arrested, right? Going to get brought up on charges. Obstruction of some kind of something, I don't know, right? The rest of them are going to fall in line after that. So I'm talking about after that. What do you think is going to happen? How do you think those people stand a chance to get elected again? Trump won the popular vote. That means the majority of Americans want deportation. Think about that. Because I'm pretty sure that there's people that voted for Kamala Harris who also want deportation. They just was like, women's health or whatever. Black women, I don't know. They probably are pro-deportation. These people ain't gonna get elected again. I told y'all that. They about to lose all types of seats. Just lose. They better hope they, like, AOC is pretty. They better hope they pretty. She is pretty. We ain't got like she ain't pretty. AOC's pretty. I can't stand to see her talking. I don't really want to ever look at her. Not to be insulting, but I could just imagine everything that she says is she doesn't know what she's talking about. So any conversation with her could only be an argument. So I would never want to talk to her. I guess I'd interview her. Why not, right? But like just have like a personal conversation, nah, I'm fine. I'm all of the fines. She pretty as hell though. Not as hell, but she's pretty. I don't think she got no butt though. But I like Puerto Ricans. I'm from the Bronx. The fuck? Oh, yeah, that was something else. Yeah, no. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, she's pretty. I think that's how she got elected. I mean, at the end of the day, people was like, she's pretty, and she just says stuff that's just like, how in the hell, fam? Fuck it. In any regard, I'm gonna end early today. I think we're gonna. All right. Sorry, I'm looking at a thing. Yeah, I gotta go. So, we're gonna try to have a show a little bit later today. We're gonna try to get at least one more actual show in. I might be able to connect a couple of these apps together and do a thing that I was thinking about doing previously. I might try it today. In any regard, everybody have a blessed day. Go out there in the world, do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. This is all we have for today. I just was having a conversation about how Putin, basically the conversation was basically about how the Democrats are trying to create World War III. And then we went off to a whole nother tangent. But the Democrats are trying to create World War III. Be mindful of your Democratic family members and friends. They believe they are right. They're not evil. Now, the people who they are electing, they're a different story. But our family and your friends, they do believe that they are right, and they believe that you are wrong. So be mindful of that. Treat them with love, and be mindful. They're not the enemy. The people they are electing are the enemy. And the people that they're paying to go on social media and do shit like cut their hair and all this other wild shit, I think a lot of those people just paid. I don't think a lot of those people are actually people that's like having breakdowns. I think those people just paid to do that. That's just my opinion. There might be a couple of them in there that then started picking it up, and now it's probably become a thing. But I think initially that was just some people that was just paid to go and be, absolutely overboard, and then see if they could convince other people to then do it on their own. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. With that being said, yo, look, I love y'all. Everybody have a blessed day. Go out there into the world, do something worth doing, and then stamp God's name on it. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.